I did get a chance to watch that last night. So I highly, highly recommend, if you're even a casual Phillies fan and know anything, it was a very well done documentary. Basically, the way it was set up, it was Schmidt kind of narrating the thing with going through his time in Philadelphia. And then they had stuff from the other players. Larry Bowa was there. I guess he was very close with Doug Collins. There was a lot of Doug Collins interviews on there. Charles Barkley, Dr. J. Very, very well done. And I think my biggest takeaway from it, I don't want to give, obviously the story is the story, but I don't want to give too much of it away. But my biggest takeaway was that it just, at one point, my wife even said, she's like, man, this is portraying Philly fans as rough. I truly think it was a love-hate relationship with Mike Schmidt, especially for when the time he came up. They were a team that had never won a championship in almost 100 years of being in existence. So they saw the potential in him, and when he was in slumps, we do it now. It's funny that like our parents and our grandparents were the same way we were back in the 70s and into the 80s. But it certainly was a love-hate relationship. And to hear him speak and just know how much he truly cared and wanted to do well, I think that was the piece that I think was missing all this time from the story. So many people say, oh, he didn't care. I remember hearing my dad, oh, he's not a clutch player. And going back to those playoff failures in the late 70s, when the lights are the brightest, he chokes. And it really took till Pete Rose got there to sort of take some of that pressure, because ultimately Mike wanted to be that guy in Philly. He wanted to be the hero. He wanted to be the clutch guy. And I think a lot of times, and I wonder now, kind of hearing it from his perspective, if a lot of what happened with the Phillies this year kind of stemmed from them trying too hard. We'll see, but he certainly cared, brought it home in his Hall of Fame speech, and basically said, look, I could have let you guys in. I acted miserable toward you. And some of the best moments from that were when he was showing his true emotions, showing his true self. Everybody talked about the 500 home run and his little celebration dance, and just how that was like the first time we really saw him play up emotion. And then when he ripped the Philly fans up in Montreal, and then came back with the Larry Anderson's wing on when he was warming up, and that was kind of like a turning point, because he knew he was going to get booed. He was like, I deserve to get booed. And I think that's the takeaway. Mike Schmidt did get it. He just didn't let us know he got it until well after the fact, because he said, I would have booed myself too. I deserve to be booed. But instead of coming out in the media and saying that, he ripped it toward Philly fans. But with the wig, they were all set to boo him and ended up giving him a standing ovation, because it was just like, you know what? You are one of us. But like I said, highly, highly recommend it. Obviously, my wife fell asleep halfway through, so I'm excited to watch the second half again with her. But you got to love Mike Schmidt. My all-time favorite player, and to me, watching this documentary only solidified my love for Schmitty. So if you have some time, Eagles don't play till 4 tomorrow. If you don't want to watch the early NFL games, if your fantasy season is over, throw it on. It's definitely worth the watch.